It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Tell you what, one of the things about the Chicago Bears this year in training camp, one of the things that you could see starting to bud was the Bears secondary. And while it has been imperfect throughout the year, it really looks like it's hitting its stride right now. And a lot of that is Jaylon Johnson. Kyler Gordon has had a really good season. He's gotten better in coverage. Obviously had his first sack the other day as well. Tyreek Stevenson has been good. Terrell Smith has been good. Eddie Jackson, he's been a little inconsistent at times, but the secondary really looks, and for my money, the Bears secondary is the best part about the Bears defense. And you can make a case for linebacker, maybe with Montez Sweat here, you could say defensive line, but the secondary has been terrific for the Bears this year. And we know that, Jaylon Johnson is probably the best of the bunch in that regard. So on this edition of the Daily Score, we're going to hear a lot of Jaylon Johnson, some Jaquan Brisker as well. Every week, Jaylon Johnson is on the Score on the Parkins and Spiegel show. I happen to be filling in for Parkins and Spiegel along with Gabe Ramirez, so we got to talk to Jaylon Johnson. So let's get into it. In particular, about how the secondary in this win against Arizona, what did Jaylon Johnson think about the way the secondary played against Arizona?
I mean, honestly, I think it just speaks to the work that we've continued to put in. I mean, like you said, it hasn't been a perfect season. It's not like we've just put out great performances from week one to now. But, I mean, I think just us being able to continue to work together, continue to be healthy, continue to stay the course, I think it just shows a lot. I mean, especially in a series like that, you get back-to-back plays. It's like, okay, now these guys are ready to play even late in the series. I mean, late in the year. So, I mean, it's plenty of reasons I feel like you see guys start to kind of lay down or kind of start, oh, well, man, it's just the Cardinals, or, man, we might not get to the playoffs or things like that. But it actually just gelling together, continue to play with energy, play with swag, and take pride in what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. There's the swag is real, and I've talked about this. The one series where Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, and Jaylon Johnson all had a PBU, a pass breakup, and that was just really, maybe seemed small early in the game, 3-and-out, but it was a really kind of cool thing to watch them pull that off, and just it kind of like was symbolic of late in the season, while some things come undone, as we know with NFL teams, you also start to see things get better and blossom and develop, and I think that is one thing that we certainly have seen occurring. To Jaylon Johnson's point, imperfect for sure. You had the Greg Dortch 38-yard touchdown from Kyler Murray where he made some guys look pretty bad, and the game became 24-16, but they were able to actually keep things together and not have what has happened too many times this year and have things break down on offense and defense. Jaquan Brisker, this is Brisker's day as well. He was on the Bernstein and Holmes show, and he also backs up Jaylon Johnson on a really good play from the secondary.
I have to say, though, Jaquan, I was going to say that the back four are really playing well. Like, you guys had some nasty pass breakups in that game.
Yes.
Where you're all over routes and sort of running the routes for the receivers. But I'm going to say back five, because Terrell Smith is earning sort of like a 1A consideration as he's been rotating in.
Yeah, I'll say, back five, back six, because you got to include Kyler in there. Then you also got to include, if you did include Tariq, I'm assuming he's already in there.
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be six, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like you said, I'll say six. The secondary's been, crazy. We've just been getting better and better every single day, every single week. And our chemistry is growing, and you could just tell, guys are out there healthy, guys out there flying around, having fun, with a lot of great energy, passion, and it's showing. So I can't wait to get back with those guys.
What's it like to have a secondary that's playing with confidence?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, where they're going to be. You know what communication they're going to make. and playing with confidence, you don't ever second guess yourself. You know they're going to be there, where they're supposed to be, and you trust them. And then those guys, they make plays, so you know when the ball's going over there that it's either going to be a pick, a PBU, something great going to happen, or if they're in the run game, they're going to make tackles, big hits, whatever it is. So we all just know we're going to make plays and fly around. So we all are happy for each other, and we like to make plays.
Yeah, it's coming together. And, like I said, beginning of the season, it looked like a position group on the rise. So with that said, let's go back to Jaylon Johnson. And he talked about what, this team playing up to what we were starting to see in camp and what they had envisioned.
Playing the ball that we knew we could have played in the beginning. And I think kind of just going through the ups and downs, going through the rough patches, the giving up a certain amount of points, and a certain amount of yards throughout the game. Just like, man, we know we can be a whole lot better. And things just weren't clicking for us. So I think now it's really just getting guys back healthy. And then, of course, adding Montez, that only added feel to it. So, I mean, just every time we go out there, man, it's really just about dominating no matter who we're playing. I mean, when we went against the Lions the first time, everybody was, you guys really shut them out for the most part of the game. Like, do you think that was luck? Because before we did it, it was this quarterback or it was that quarterback. So now it's like, nah, man, we take pride in playing no matter who it is. If it's the Lions, the Vikings, I mean, Josh Dobbs was the story of the league for a little bit. I feel like until he played us, we had all them turnovers, and now it's like,
he's a bum.
Josh Dobbs.
He's a bum. Yeah.
Pick and choose when they want to give us our credit. But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't play the game for anybody else's credit, man. We play the game to showcase who we are individually as a unit, man, and just who we know we can be. And I think we just find motivation each and every week. I mean, we compete to get turnovers. I mean, me, Tremaine, TJ, we just added Bo in our little turnover money pot competition. So, I mean, we just always compete and trying to find ways to make plays. And we know we have the guys to do it. So, I mean, we just go out there and try to show out and really take pride in everything that we're doing.
Thank God they're starting to get the turnovers or have been getting the turnovers because obviously that was a huge issue coming into the season. It was something that, Jaylon Johnson was indicted for. He's great in coverage, but is he going to get those picks? And, yeah, he's got 4 picks this year. Probably should have, probably at least 6 picks this year on a couple of that he dropped, but that's what this defense has demanded. And, in Jaylon Johnson's case, he certainly has come through big time in that area. In terms of, winning culture and that starting to blossom, at least on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying it's not on the offensive side of the ball, but Johnson talked about that too. And he said it's hard to give, a timeline for a winning culture.
I mean, honestly, it's hard to just there's no true number I feel like you can put on it. It's hard to just say, give us 3 years for the site. No, you never know when things click. You never know when a group can truly gel together. You never know when things really just, I think, change and switch. I mean, you can emphasize a lot of things. You can bring the right people in as far as being good on the field or having good character. But it's like at the end of the day, if it doesn't mesh well top to bottom, if you don't have, I would say, leaders, if you don't have it all comes down to having high level athletes and players that go out and make plays. That's what the game is about, guys making plays. So, I mean, it's just really about the right combination. I mean, you see plenty of teams that have good players on their team that don't win, and then you see guys that don't have that many good players, but they're continuing to win. So, I mean, it's like it's just all about the combination. It's all about the year, and at the end of the day, too, got to be your time. If it's not your time, it's not your time. But I think we're definitely trending in the right direction as far as the guys that we have in the building. I think, of course, you always can add a few more pieces, and there's never too many playmakers. So you can always add some more playmakers, man. I think just overall we just got to tidy up the small things that I think go a big way. And I think, too, you have a lot of young players on our team as well. I mean, there's not too many guys that have played high-level football as a team and that has won as a team. I feel like the only guys we really have is Bo Jack when he played on the 2018 team, and then TJ when he was with the Eagles last year, of course, and then Tremaine, they were always in the AFC Championship game or trending to go to the AFC Championship game. So when those are your main guys that have won, and then you have a younger quarterback, you have a younger running back, receiver room, you have a young O-line, you have young DBs, so it's like that's kind of hard to just come in and win right away. Guys got to learn. Guys got to mature. Guys got to go through the fire and get burned a little bit to be able to build that callus to be able to truly win when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I look at it as the Bears defense has they have entered the chat for a winning defense. Like they've gotten good, pretty good. They're not great yet. They're not elite yet, but they have entered that realm of, I could see that being great someday. And, and part of the question too before that was, you want that window to match the offense's window. And we know that there's still issues there. So you kind of want those two to match up, and windows, as we use over and over and over again in the NFL, are short. So when I start to see a defense that looks like it's beginning to get there, I think, man, don't waste this. Because we've seen that too many times with Bears teams where the defense is good, but the offense is not good enough, and ultimately the team fails to get to winning playoff games. I'll just say that. Last cut. We all know that this has been, I think Patrick Finley, Bears beat writer for the Sun-Times, when he was on the score, said it right. It has been a frustrating run to 6-9. The Bears are 6-9, probably about where most people, including me, thought they would be at this point. I think I had them down for 7 or 8 wins this year. I did not have them down to go to the playoffs, but it's been exhausting at time getting some of these games, some of the blown games for the Bears this year. And Jaylon Johnson admitted that this season has been a season of missed opportunities.
No, I can't just say it's always a sense of urgency. Definitely when you're not winning. I think we've been giving ourselves opportunities to win. I think it just comes down to small moments and opportunities. I don't think it's ever just been, well, we just didn't have enough to win, or we just didn't play, in a sense, good enough throughout the duration of the game. I mean, there's, to me, honestly, a few games, but it's like if you just count those few games, I feel like, and we took full advantage of the opportunities that we had, I think we could easily be, 11-4 at this point. So it's like, I think it really just comes down to opportunity. I don't think it's about being good enough. It's just about taking advantage of those opportunities. Especially if we go back to Detroit, the first time we didn't take advantage of our opportunity on defense. We didn't close out that game. If you go back, New Orleans, I think we had a lot of turnovers that game. So I think offensively we could have did better that game as far as taking care of the ball. But I think overall that was a game that we had plenty of opportunities to win. I know dating back to the beginning of the season, Denver, we had plenty of opportunities to win. Minnesota early, we had plenty of opportunities to win that game. Even Cleveland, sure, we were just up against Cleveland, one of the best teams in the league. So we've had opportunities, and I don't think it's just about the offense not being good enough. I think it's just about the team as a unit taking advantage of those opportunities to be able to close out games, to be able to win those games.
Yeah, I had to laugh and so we could be 11-4. I don't know. That would feel like the Viking season last year, where they win 12, 13 games, and then they were bounced in the first round. Even back to 2018 with the Bears, when they'd lose the Eagles playoff game, and then the next year they'd just start this decline. So you don't want to fake 11-4. But he said what you're probably thinking. We can all go back and look at games that the Bears blew and they should have won this year. But just want to take a little look and give a little praise to what the secondary has been doing for the Bears on this edition of the Daily Score. Thank you so much for listening and watching and subscribing. It means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to our executive producer, Ray Diaz. I will talk to you guys tomorrow on the Daily Score.